For all the things you need in one, Hughes Federal Credit Union has the latest payment choices that make your life easy and convenient. Put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
This is the Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm here with John Gold and Greg Hansen at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. Arizona is set to have their press conference today. What are you guys thinking going into this game? I mean, Wichita State, they killed Vanderbilt the other day. I mean, do you have any thoughts on them?
I think they're the new Gonzaga, which means they're beatable. If they're in the Pac-12, I think they'd be about with Colorado and maybe a little lower. What do you think?
Yeah. John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think Greg is totally underrating the Wichita State lore that's kind of been built up over the last few years. I don't think it has anything to do with how good they are this year. I think the program has raised itself to a level now that they're a danger, and I think Arizona has got to watch out.
I mean, how about they? I mean, they have Van Fleet and Ron Baker, who have been at NCAA tournaments 3 years in a row, made deeper runs than Arizona has. I mean, how valuable is that?
Well, I thought Baker and Van Vliet played with Steve Kerr in high school. Haven't they been around for 34 years? They've got to be good. I watched them last night. The rest of their team looks pretty average, but you can't underrate the two guards, I guess.
Yeah.
Their talent is great, but I think the main thing is Marshall is one incredible coach, and he's a great tournament coach as well. And I think Arizona lost out in the seeding mainly just by going up against him. Forget anyone else. He might be the best coach out of the 68.
Yeah, too bad they couldn't play against Steve Alford, huh?
Oh, gosh. No, he's not even here.
Is it surprising that Marshall hasn't left for a bigger job yet?
Yeah, I kind of thought he would, but I've read stories about the numbers they gave him, and he makes as much as almost anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, only game in town, Wichita?
There's a lot to be said about being the king, and Sean Miller knows that as well in Tucson. You know, when you are the guy, I think UCLA went after him when they ended up settling, I think is the word for Alford. And the difference between being the biggest fish in the pond and being just another guy in LA means a lot. And to a kind of a quieter guy like Marshall, he's dangerous, man, and I think he's in there for the long haul.
It'll be interesting to see how Wichita State does next year without the two guards.
Yeah.
Because Creighton fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, once
Good
McDermott
point.
left. Yeah.
So let's see if Marshall can do it without those two guys.
Yeah. I mean, then flipping a little bit. I mean, Arizona lost the Pac-12 title game. I mean, how do you feel about them going in? You know, coming off the way the season ended for them.
I think Arizona's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're as good as 4 seeds.
I mean, Cal's a 4 seed. So
Yeah. I think Arizona's good or better than Cal, but who knows? 4, 5s, and 6s are pretty close.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with Arizona is who's their win this year? What's their win? What's their big?
They don't have
oh
one,
my gosh,
no.
this is Arizona kind of.
Gonzaga was supposed to be that, and they didn't end up being that good.
That home comeback against Cal turned out to be the signature win.
I know.
How is that? I mean,
Yeah.
that's not even that's like a stamp.
And
It's not a
they were
signature.
terrible for the first.
goodness.
They were bad for the first 38 minutes of that game too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the season ends tomorrow night in a loss to Wichita State, I think people in Tucson just move on because so much is anticipated for next year.
That's a good point.
All right. Before we go, we're at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. What is your favorite donut?
Glazed blueberry.
All of them.
Oh, there's the answer.
They're donuts. Who doesn't like every single
like
donut?
Boston
If you
cream.
have the option to have a donut, it doesn't matter what kind it is. What a dumb question. Donuts are great.
And they're even better on expensive kind.
That's a good point.
All right. Well, with that, this has been Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.